Here in Philadelphia, let's go up to Brooklyn, New York, where I have 15-1, 13 knockouts. Shinard Bunch, who this Friday night takes on Janelson Figueroa Bocachica as one of the highlighted fights on the 20th anniversary of ShoBox, the new generation. Shinard, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, what's going on? We got about 4 days, about this time, 4 days from now, you'll be get ready for your ring walk to take on a highly regarded, undefeated Janelson Figueroa Bocachica. Well, what's going on in your mind about all this?
Um, Nothing much. I'm just ready to fight. That's all.
This is, I know, an opportunity. You've been waiting, probably for about 7 or 8 fights. Especially after the Kroll fight, you've won about 14 straight fights, many of them by spectacular knockout. And I know that there's been fans calling for you to maybe last couple fights to kind of step up the competition. You fought a real tough guy in Cameron Creel a couple fights back, and now you're finally hitting the big stage again.
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor. It's an honor, definitely.
So what can you tell us about Janelson Figueroa Bocachica?
Um, not really much to say. I don't. Go and watch fighters or really study a opponent. I feel like that's my coach's job. We just got a game plan to execute. So I just stay focused and execute the game plan.
What obviously, what have you learned? Over the past couple fights, you've started to fight more veteran guys. What have you learned in the last few fights?
Definitely just staying focused. I don't really, anybody that knows me knows that I don't really like to take much time off. I like to stay in the gym. I like to stay prepared. So me just as a person, I just love to learn. I love learning. I love working. So this is something I actually like to do. Just staying focused. That's the main objective. Always staying focused. Because at any time, anything could change in a fight. So just me being around a lot of veteran guys, like even working with Tevin Farmer, just staying focused is the main objective. Keeping our head straight, our mental, staying in the fight, and just executing the game plan. That's it.
You've become so far in this 2021. You've been basically once a month bunch, basically going every month. What's the thought process? I know you mentioned just a minute ago about staying active. What's the thought process about the tremendous activity that you've so far been in 2021?
Definitely, I love it. I love it. I just love staying busy. It's just um growing up in Brooklyn. Just the environment, everything. I've been through personally with just myself. I'm a fighter. I love fighting. So making the transition, having over 400 amateur fights, almost fighting every week, it wasn't really hard for me to make the transition into the pros. And I feel like at certain times the pros is easier. We get to take our time more, actually playing a masterpiece. So it was definitely a great, transaction. So it wasn't really hard to, just go out there and fight every week. Because, boxers, a lot of boxers don't do that. A lot of boxers, they'll fight one time, probably, a couple months later, then they'll fight again. With me, it was like, it wasn't a problem. And then my promoter, Nadell Promotions, they've been great. So, with getting me the right fights and just, matching me up properly. So,
You mentioned your promoter, Nadell, also managed by one of the legends of the game, J. Russell Peltz. What kind of knowledge? I mean, just being around a guy like Russell Peltz not only says that you're a quality fighter, but it also what kind of knowledge and experience has rubbed off from Russell Peltz to you?
just always working hard, staying active, always believing in myself. Russell definitely gives me great advice sometimes. So it's definitely an honor and a blessing to have these type of people in my corner.
You mentioned Brooklyn, New York. Who were some of the, obviously Brooklyn has so much talent coming out of there. Who were some of your, gym mates and maybe rivals coming up from Brooklyn that you've, you've mentioned 400 amateur fights. Who are some of the guys that kind of helped shape you in terms of the fighters coming up?
Um, I remember fighting Nikita.
Nikita Bobby, undefeated middleweight prospect.
Yeah, definitely. We fought at probably like I think it was 80 pounds.
Wow.
He's my first loss. He kicked my ass that day. He kicked my ass, but it's always a learning experience. He's not pro yet, but Bruce Carrington,
he was supposed to turn pro this Saturday night on the now postponed Wilder Fury card. He was supposed to make his pro debut.
Definitely, Bruce Carrington. Shushu. I actually started with him. So just great experience. That's like an older brother to me. So sometimes he give me advice and just boxing. Edgar Berlanga, Jose Vargas. These type of guys is actually somebody's now. But just growing up in the same gym and getting advice and seeing where they are now is just like, okay, it's only motivation.
And I can imagine you've probably done, between all these guys, hundreds and hundreds of rounds with these guys.
Definitely. Coming up, me and Bruce didn't really, spar like that, but we actually, sat down and got been to nationals together. We've done a lot of things together. Like I said, he was somebody I was brought up with, so we was always teammates. So it was definitely great.
This is such a fitting fight for what ShoBox is all about. With I know you were the early loss to an Olympic alternate, Paul Kroll. You took in your second fight, so that shows the guts and the when, where, anytime, anywhere mentality that you have. He's undefeated. You're both 22 years old. Two tremendous prospects. I've seen both you guys. Most of all your fights have been in my backyard here in Philly and thereabout, and Janelson as well. This is such a great ShoBox fight, and especially to have it on the 20th anniversary special. What's that mean to you?
It definitely means everything. ShoBox is Showtime, and my actual middle name is Showtime. Like, just even speaking about that, when I was born, my mom always said, like, all right, he's gonna be a star. So, we gonna name him Showtime. That's my actual middle name. Like, I be telling people, like, I used to get in trouble in school just because they didn't actually believe me. Like, they think I'd be playing, and then I'll have to really call my mom, like, Mom, can you really tell him, like, this is something I always dreamed about. Fighting on Showtime. This is like, top tier. And I understand that this is, a real big fight. So just me fighting on Showtime, is definitely a blessing.
Some guy named Nadel Abuhamud said, we want to fight him again. I believe he's talking about the Paul Kroll fight. Man,
we're moving on.
But that's not something at some point you would like to get back?
I mean, if it comes down to that, then definitely, I want to be the number one guy. Without a doubt, I want to be the number one guy. So, but we're not going backwards. We only moving forward. So, I'm not. That's not something I'm looking forward to. But, definitely, if we got way better. I'm not. But, that's not something I'm really looking forward to. I'm on the bigger and better things.
This fight's at welterweight. You've been fluctuating the last few fights, 140, 142. In a perfect world, are you campaigning at 40 or are you campaigning at 47?
I like fighting at 40. But
you're the first guy I know who doesn't mind sweating off the other 7 pounds.
Oh, nah, definitely not. An opportunity could come at any time. So, whatever weight that we're gonna, the opportunity comes at, we're gonna take it. 140, 147, we're gonna take it.
Do you feel you're, right now as a 22-year-old, you feel you're more accustomed or maybe more better fit at 140 than 147?
I don't feel out of place at either weight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel out of place at either weight. So, a lot of people like to, stay at one weight and just, fight at one weight. But me, I don't have no problem with dropping down to 40 or coming up to 147. So
I mean, that's something I guess the TV networks kind of like because it opens up your horizons both at 40 and 47. I with a win, I mean, you expect. I mean, a lot of times these guys you'll win. You'll maybe fight 2-3 fights on ShoBox, 2-3 fights more on ShoBox. Is that the way you're looking at it? And then maybe by fight 20, ready for like maybe a title type of fight.
if the opportunity comes, then definitely, I would love to, fight on Showtime and show my talent and keep fighting on Showtime. Like I said, it's definitely a blessing. Like I've always like since I was little, I've always dreamed about fighting on Showtime only because of the connection, only because of the connection. So I definitely look forward to fighting on Showtime again.
You
Definitely.
you mentioned Tevin Farmer, and so that means I know you've been training with Chino Rivas. Talk about that transition over the last handful of fights.
Um, it's just a blessing. Definitely a blessing. We were supposed to actually start training with Chino for the Paul Crow fight, but he had other situations going on, so it didn't happen until after. But definitely, wow, since I've got with him, I've learned so much. I've accomplished so much. Is we have a great connection. So it's like it was easy for me to make the transaction. And it was like home. It's basically like home. So just me and him, we have a great connection. He just he's just a amazing guy all around.
And
Definitely an amazing guy all
and,
around.
he's brought Jason Sosa and Tevin Farmer to World Championship, so he has that championship pedigree behind him.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what's it like? You mentioned, Tevin Farmer. I know there's always a good gym of high quality fighters with Chino Rivas. Talk about just being around that type of talent.
It's outstanding. It's outstanding. It's actually a dream come true. Like I said, I grew up around a lot of guys. That's actually somebody now, but everybody took their own route. Everybody took their own route, and um, I've never actually trained with like a world champion. Like an actual world champion. So, just even him giving me advice, me and him sparring. He's giving me pointers. Bunch, do this, do this, do this. Certain things, and just taking certain measures. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He wants to see everybody do better. So that's definitely a blessing. You have some guys that'll make it and you know um just separate themselves. But Tev is not like that. He wants to see everybody do good. So even in the gym, if I'm doing something wrong, he'll tell me like, "Oh, Bunch, you got to do this. You got to do this way, or maybe try this." He's always giving me pointers. So that's definitely great.
Last couple of questions. What do you want to say to the fans out there who, some are going to get to see you for the first time. A lot are going to get to see you fight for the first time on
Yeah.
Friday night, this Friday night live on ShoBox, A New Generation, the 20th anniversary show, taking on Janelson Figueroa Bocachica. What do you want to tell those fans out there?
Definitely get the fight. It's definitely going to be fireworks. I'm prepared. I'm ready for anything. So, definitely get the fight, and we gonna make history. It's my time.
And got a couple. We got a couple people say before we let you go. Tone Brown, do you think being so active coming off the pandemic gave you an advantage going into this fight?
Definitely, because we stayed active. We stayed active. We didn't miss a beat. Any fight we could get, whether it be in Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, um, we didn't miss a beat. So definitely. But at the end of the day, you never doubt nobody else. You never doubt nobody else. I know Boca Chica is coming to fight, and I know he's coming to win. So that I wouldn't say it gives me an advantage, really. It just keeps me sharp. But at the end of the day, he's training too. He's training hard too. So You know, we're not doubting anybody. I expect him to come to, you know, and fight hard, and you know.
VJ Surge says Jersey, Jersey. So even though you're a Brooklyn guy, it's funny. Some people have you build out of Trenton and you're training in South Jersey with Chino. So I think you're becoming a Jersey guy.
A
little bit.
I love Jersey though. I love Jersey. Jersey is definitely like home. I moved to Jersey when I was, 14, 15 years old. So I definitely understand why. But, I'm a Brooklyn baby.
What's it? You can
love Jersey.
You can take the kid out of Brooklyn, but you can never take Brooklyn out of the kid. Is that where we're at?
Definitely. But growing up in Jersey, it definitely showed me a lot. Jersey is actually where I've made myself bigger. Jersey helped me a lot. So, big shout out to Jersey.
And where do we find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at Shinard Bunch.
So I like that. Like I said, some of the people watch my interviews and they see me say some of the same things to some of the fighters. I'll get a guy. His name might be Frank Jones, but it's has nothing to do with his name. You're easy. It's like Boxer 2946 or whatever.
Yeah, we keep it simple.
Keep it simple. There you have it. Hold on, I think we have another question here. Let's see here. Our guy here, Jose Rodriguez, when do you fight Figueroa? That's gonna be Friday night live on ShoBox, the new generation 20th anniversary show. Shinard, thank you for a few minutes of your time, and we'll talk to you along the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you.